Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the Afterparty, where midterms are over, but that just means the countdown to finals has just begun. I'm Amanda, your super nerd. Hi, everybody.
I was like, are we doing introductions where we say our names now?
We
Because
sure
I'm ready
are,
for
Julia.
it. I'm Julia.
And then you say the super thing that you are.
Did you say nerd? Because now that's the only thing stuck in my head. I'm a super dork.
Yeah.
Cute.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I am super sleepy.
Oh.
I'm Eric. I can control fire.
Fair enough.
Whoa!
Sick, bro.
It's crazy that hasn't come up yet. It feels irrelevant.
Yeah, you really should have told us that. We could have made a lot more money than making a podcast.
Brandon, you'd be surprised. It's not very monetizable. If I could figure out how to make a Substack about controlling fire, that'd be sick.
We have so many wonderful questions from the listeners of Join the Party today, folks. Let's jump right in, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. This is from actual teen listener, Pointy Purple Penguin. In honor of me starting my senior year pretty soon, how'd the super seniors feel about starting their final year? What were they most stressed about? Are they planning on going to college? And if so, what major or university? And if it's already first semester midterms, college apps must be looming. Is there going to be an arc about those?
Who can say about that last one?
Was this the same person in Discord that was like, hey, I realize I'm younger than this character?
Yes, they sure did. They sure did.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
But this is 2030X, so, anyone who is conscious enough to listen to this podcast right now is certainly biologically older than our characters, but spiritually, we might not be there.
That's true.
Who can say? I can't picture Craft wanting to go to college, desiring to go to college, what Craft would even potentially major in. Probably philosophy, I would imagine. It would actually be really funny if it was meteorology, now that I think about it. Shit. That's really funny.
Yeah, it would.
Kraft becoming a local weather person would be the single funniest thing that could happen, honestly.
You'd be the most reliable weather person. You get 100% accuracy.
Yeah, because I'm the one controlling the weather, baby.
Exactly.
That sounds like a weather person name, though the weather person that was on Good Morning America that my mom watched, his name was Sam Champion.
Good.
And I'm like, Shelley Kraft, similar, honestly.
Sam Champion, Shelley Craft, shaking hands emoji.
Then they kiss.
Ooh.
Oh.
God, I hope not. Sam Champion's like 70 now.
Brandon, do you think Connor is college bound?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's definitely stressed about going to his senior year because it's the last year, and it's like, if you do well in high school, if you're doing well in high school, and generally speaking, like academically and socially, it's like, oh, it's the last year, I still kick ass, and then what's next? So it's definitely stressful. Yeah, and I think Connor would go probably like a state school, nothing fancy, and like probably get a degree in communications,
Nice.
Nothing fancy.
Connor's a SUNY boy. Wait, Connor going to a SUNY school for communications is exactly the background that Val had in season 2, and that's extremely funny to me.
Val, Connor, shaking hands emoji.
Same person, really, when you think about it.
The Connor to Val pipeline is well established, though understudied. Maybe it's something for Kraft to focus on in her senior thesis.
The only person who should be studying communications is Kraft because she's going to be a weather person.
It's true.
Come on.
Just like, let's think about something for a second. Martha Lightning, our local news person from North Country Public Television.
Is that really her name?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Canonically, now it is.
Sure is now.
Oh, you meant our in-game
Yes.
local television.
For Jupiter.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
How about Rowan?
I don't think Rowan is ready for the real world. And so, like so many students before her, thinks, I guess college can't hurt. But honestly, I don't think she is focusing on it. She'll probably take a year off and do some like Talmudic study or something like that.
Smart.
The ranking system that we see all the time, I think I'm trying to like address that a little bit because it always felt true, right? Especially for my high school. Specifically, it always felt like a competition, like this internal idea at American high schools that it's like, oh, only one student can come from this high school. Only 3 students can come from this high school to go to this college. So it always felt true. I think the fact that the ranking system is up there too, because in my head, there's like a direct job recruitment stuff going on. Like, so the government can literally see, or these companies can literally see how well the students are doing as dictated by the algorithm and by, Wordsmith and everything. So I think there's a combination of things there. I mean, you can apply to college, but I wonder who has thoughts about that going forward.
Would Miss Rita be the person we would talk to to for college application advice, or is that someone else?
Yeah, because she's the senior class
Liaison.
Yeah.
I like to say liaison as French as possible.
Liaison.
Liaison.
Oh, damn. I didn't expect that. Julia, speaking of your voice, here's a question from Emily. That segue was creepier than I anticipated. I just finished listening to Brandon's Party of Fun from Party Planning 2.5 years ago and discovered that Julia, when she's sick, sounds just like Kraft. Or maybe Kraft sounds like sick Julia. So did you intentionally make Kraft's voice sound like your voice when you have a cold, or was that an accident?
I think it's more, there's only a certain amount of things you could do with one's voice that is easy to do for a long period of time when recording an actual play. And so in this case, that just happened. It was a coincidence.
Actually, though, ignoring completely Julia's answer, Emily found the Jeopardy Daily Double in my Party of Fun party planning episode. So, Emily, because you realize that in the future, Julia would make a character named Kraft who sounds like that, you get 100 points.
Oh my
Emily
gosh.
just won Brandon's Party for Fun from 2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And is that a great reminder that if people are interested in individual episodes of party planning but don't want to become a monthly patron for whatever reason, they can just purchase each of them on our Patreon, like as a one-time thing if they wanted to, at patreon.com/jointhepartypod?
Hell yeah.
True facts.
Wow. Who knew? Another very important question about logistics and linguistics here from Bray. If you were a ghost who could only speak using slang from a specific time period, which period would you want it to be? Let's start with Eric and go counterclockwise.
Oh, I already said mine. It's this one. It's so stupid. I don't understand any of this slang. If I was a ghost, needing to try to convey to people about Riz seems embarrassing.
So wait, you would opt into this embarrassment?
I think if I'm a ghost, it's already happening. Like if I have to tell
That's true.
someone, help me out on God, I'm like, nice, sick.
I like the idea that you die and become younger,
Yeah.
and then you're a ghost in the future. You know?
Yeah.
You know all those time hijinks?
Or like in the episode, the ghost learned all the slang from the people hanging out at the Funpratorium.
Well,
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 no, I think that was a young kid that died.
maybe.
The ghost said, I learned slang. I just did the transcript for this. The ghost said, I learned the slang from the kids hanging out here.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I did say that.
Canonically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just the current slang. I think maybe that means I'm old. I find it very funny.
Fair enough.
It's like, it would be so bussin' if you helped out my soul.
I think I would want to do like roaring 20s, like 23 skidoo. That's the kind of slang that I would want to do.
Nice.
I would want to do like AD 30.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Old
and
English?
see what the fuck that slang is.
Proto-Germanic something?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's less slang than just an incomprehensible language.
Well, Amanda, they definitely had slang, of course. We just don't.
Sure.
It's all Greek to us, you know.
That's, you
No,
know.
Brandon, it's all Latin. Romans.
I think I'd probably choose the 50s, like a sort of greaser, hot rod style. I just think it'd be fun to be a ghost that's getting like, diner food and talking about like going on dates to the prom.
You just want to do a Danny Zuko impression. We know, we
Yeah.
get it.
A little bit.
My second choice is diner jargon. So I'd be okay with that.
Very good. Sharp Snooter would like to know, if you guys could swap one of your IRL skills out, just like the superpower swaps that we now know exist, what would you give up and what would you swap it for?
Do we have to sleep with someone?
No.
To do that?
No, this
No,
is
we just
magic.
have to pay Todd like $50.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would swap. Well, no. I'm not going to go overpower because I could say, like, I would swap my ability to cook to be the smartest man in the world. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
This is a really hard
This
one.
is
This
perhaps
is like
the longest
genuinely very
pause
hard.
I've ever observed in the recording of an
Yeah.
after party.
Like, I know what I would want to get.
What would you want
But
to
I
get?
don't know what I would give up. Like, I'd want to, like, just suddenly have the ability to play an instrument like guitar
Ooh.
or bass or something like that.
That'd be
But I
great.
don't know what I would give up. Maybe my ability to pee really fast.
I wish I could excise from my brain all of the like previous operating systems worth of computer knowledge. Like when I was a kid, I really prided myself on my ability to like put together a computer tower, like plug in all of the accessories where they had to be and like troubleshoot a DVD drive or a CD writer. None of that stuff is relevant to my life anymore. So if I could give up, the ability, anything that came with my like Windows 98 PC growing up, then I would love to be able to speak any language fluently, or even if I had to choose a language, speak a different language fluently.
That's good. I like that.
I would trade my ability to drive really well so that I could sing. 100%.
Wow.
100%.
Dang.
That feels like a manageable trade.
Would you not be able to drive at all? Like you completely lost that skill set, or it's just like you downgraded to a like acceptable driving level, but not really good.
Or just one of them shitty drivers.
Okay, so envision the worst driver you know under the age of 50. Because like I don't want to muddy up the data set by incorporating age reasons, right? Like think about the worst driver you know who can drive, but he's never chosen to drive on a road trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to drive their ability and trade that for a consummate ability to sing.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Okay, now we're all gonna go around and we're gonna say who we were thinking about, who's a bad driver, and say their first name, their last name, their address, and their social security number.
Dox 'em. Brandon?
This is really hard. I don't know what I would give up. And I would also think, now that Amanda said it, I think I would also love to speak multiple languages fluently. Because, like, obviously we'll be able to get around pretty well with, like, translation apps and stuff. But, like, there's never going to be a substitute for, like, true fluency. And so, like, I would really love that. But I don't know. Maybe I'd just give up, like, gardening or something. Because I don't want to give up any music ability. I don't want to give up cooking,
What if you had to give up ever using a solvent again?
Oh, Amanda, that's really fucking tough.
Yeah. That's why I asked that.
I give up acetone.
One specific solvent. Still pretty good. Here is a question from Penguin. Has it been established what ages the gang are? I know they're all in the 17 to 18 zone, being seniors, but I feel like it's important to define who is the oldest, youngest, and middle among them.
It has not been defined for sure. We just sort of like fudge it when we talk about it.
I think Craft's the oldest.
That feels right to me. I think Rowan is probably middle or youngest. I feel like it depends on how much we want Connor to be a like middle child peacekeeper versus Rowan's kind of like a strange youngest child energy, which feels like it suits. But what do you think?
That feels
Brendan?
right.
Yeah.
Feels right to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sick.
We figured it out. Good job, gang.
Now, Eric, which of the teachers are our parents?
Yeah. I'm a Rowan, Amanda's a Craft, and Julia is something else.
I'm an only child. I'm a Glimmer.
Oh,
And so is Eric, something else.
Oh, I'm a Samantha.
You're Samantha.
Fair enough.
I'm a Samantha Moon, Hannah Horvath son, Ted Mosby rising.
Ooh,
wow.
tough.
You know, Julia, you're born when you're born. I can't control it.
I think you might have to update your ghost slang to like the 20 teens because that was a time capsule of a reference.
Now that Girls is really coming back, now that Hannah, not Hannah Horvath, but pretty much the same. Now that Lena Dunham has a new show coming out, so I feel like a lot of people are talking about Girls again.
They are.
And I'm like, finally, my time has come. I'm sharpening my knives. If anyone wants to talk about season 1 of Glee, I'm around as well. You know what I mean?
Library Chick wants to know, what have been your favorite class skills to use so far?
I think I really like I'm forgetting what it's called, but the like, hey, I'm on your side kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's very fun to do. And I like that the ramifications are really bad if I roll poorly. So that's fun.
I mean, for me, like, I really like the supernatural senses thing. It's really been really fun to play with, as well as sort of the transmuting flesh thing. My moves aren't like crazy creative, but it is fun to do Unstoppable, where you just smash your way through something and get what you want.
Hell yeah, dog.
That's always fun.
I feel like all of mine are concentrated in the burn and the flares, but I think the specific flare that I'm currently enjoying the most is probably constructs. I know I used it a little bit so far, but just the idea of making anything up to the size of a person that I can also animate on its own gives me so many exciting ideas and options like during an encounter.
Hell yeah, dog.
Are they called flares, your like moves?
Yeah, so the category is called burn. That's like the thing I can do. And then the flares are the specific moves.
I don't remember. Is this like from fucking, I forgot what movie is this from, where Jennifer Aniston has she works at like a fucking Chili's-esque restaurant.
You're talking about Office Space, and you're
it
talking about
Office
the flares of like the TGI Fridays style
Yeah,
thing.
I just imagine Rowan with like her flares, those buttons on her vest.
Is it somewhere in between Jennifer Aniston in Office Space and Jean Grey from the original X-Men movie?
Imagine Jean Grey just had a bunch of buttons that were her different powers on her X-Men uniform.
She gets 2 suspenders worth when she's Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
All right, folks, we had so many good questions about our characters of the world, and I'm going to save some more for the end. But let's get into the end of the midterms arc. So much happened here. We had to figure out why Emily Slaughter had so many masked men working with her and get out of that sticky situation with the helicopter and many goons, etc. I just want to start by saying, Brandon, how do you feel about how all of this plot went down?
Me as a person, great plot. Connor as a character, not great.
Hating that.
Hell yeah. I've been watching a lot of Degrassi lately. I want to put some teens through some trauma.
I don't think like it really makes any sense to him that he's being sort of what he feels like is being hunted for something that he didn't really do. Like obviously he did it, but like it was an unintended consequence for his actions, and now he has like an actual corporation on his ass. So yeah, I think it just everything sort of feels unfair to him at this moment.
Valid.
Can I say, Kraft was so annoyed with y'all that you were just so down to hang out with Emily Slaughter.
Yeah. Julia, what do you think was going through Kraft's head? Was she questioning at all the loyalty of her comrades, or was it more of a confusion?
I think it was more like Kraft was like, do they not realize how fucking suspicious she is acting right now? Like, do you not get that she's trying to, black bag Connor here? It was 100% like, Kraft is like, what are you doing? Clearly she has ulterior motives. What the fuck, guys?
Well, Connor was thinking, I don't know what Rowan was thinking, but Connor was thinking, oh, this person works at Heroes for Hire, and that was my next plan, was to go to Heroes for Hire and figure out what the situation was. So he was going to use Emily to get to the company, the offices, That was his thought. He was just being naive and narrow-sighted.
I'm imagining Connor reaching into his wallet and then showing Kraft the playbook sheet and be like, no, I have Unstoppable.
Just
It's
don't
right
understand.
here. I can do it. I'll just jump out of the helicopter. It's right here.
Rowan was trying to do the thing where, like, you ask your roommate to brunch with your parents when they visit you at college because there is something you don't want to tell them or acknowledge, or you want just like a social buffer between you and like the questions that you assume that they will ask. And so she was trying to be there for Kraft and maybe even convince Emily that Kraft is great and she needs to get off her ass.
Right. That's why Rowan asked for any embarrassing stories about when Kraft was little.
Yeah, butter her up, to soften it up.
I thought you were going to say that thing when you're in college and you go to brunch with your roommate's parents because you're broke and you're hungry.
Yeah, also,
that too.
Primarily
That
that. Primarily that. And maybe if you're lucky, someone will order a mimosa.
Ooh.
I see here a question from Eric. I wonder which one that is. How are we all feeling about Emily Slaughter?
There was a lot of conversation in the Discord about whether or not people like or do not like Emily Slaughter. And I think it's the boundary of, do I like the character or do I like the person?
Yeah.
But man, I've been having so much fun using her as a bad parent, which is a very well-known archetype in teen dramas. Like, my parent is bad. They are still older than me and have power, but like, this is what happens. That's what I was thinking the whole time when we were walking to the helicopter and when she showed up, because I didn't really know how that episode was going other than this is kind of going to escalate and we got to get back to Todd. I think at one point when Todd's like, well, Todd wants $50,000. I guess Emily Slaughter will give him $50,000. And like, bang, there we go. So then it's like, she's going to invite you to brunch the way that Masks is riding the line between teen drama and superhero drama. It's like, they're going to black bag Connor, but also getting invited to brunch by your friend's bad parent is totally something that would happen in Degrassi just as much as anything else. So I've been having a lot of fun with her, but how have the three of you been enjoying, as people who also played through Camp-Paign 2, how have you been enjoying or not enjoying Emily Slaughter coming back?
I love it for the conflict. I love it for the conflict.
I love the presence of her character in our game as a thing that gives us something to play off of. In no universe do I think Emily Slaughter is like a good or amusing person. I would probably periodically look at her Instagram just to be able to talk about with my friends how fucked up she is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah, I basically agree. Yeah, I think she's a fun character, and I'm glad she's here so we can bounce off her. But also fuck Emily Slaughter.
Respectfully, fuck her. So
Yeah.
I was posting the clip and I remember that I said, "Oh, you think the U.S. Supreme Court is going to help you?" And I'm like, Jesus Christ. She's so powerful. And I think that she thinks she can do anything, which is the scariest part. And when you think you can do anything and you have done anything before, problems just melt away. And that's very scary for especially with the three of you deciding whether or not you were going to go in the helicopter or not and having your own problems. I guess for Connor and Rowan and Kraft, you're like, hey, she's really scary. Don't do this.
yeah, I think you're underestimating her.
You're underestimating her ability to make you literally disappear,
Mhm.
Connor.
Oh, yeah.
She might.
In no world would Rowan have ever gone in that helicopter. I don't think she'd even have gone in a van. She would have been like, we'll meet you at brunch.
Okay, the van is worse than a helicopter. We have to.
You can roll out of a van. You can't roll out of a helicopter.
I can't jump out of a helicopter, my guy.
I mean, if you are naive and you are approached with a unmarked van or a helicopter, which one is sketchier? The van.
Helicopter.
No.
Dogs can follow your trail in the van.
I agree with Brandon. You guys would not have gotten into a van. That's why she tried to put you into a helicopter. Like that is it's like this power flex. And an adult offering you brunch
Right.
is the same thing. It's like, I have money to buy you brunch and a mimosa, so I'll also get in my helicopter because it's from the U.S. military. Like that's what she was trying to do.
I'm going to go ahead and advise all of the actual teens listening to get into neither an unmarked van nor an unmarked helicopter. And finally, obviously, not an unmarked boat either of any adults that you don't know.
Unless you're really good at swimming.
Even if they're marked, don't get into a helicopter.
Yeah.
They fall out of the sky a lot.
Yeah, that's a hard limit for me.
I want to give a shout out because we kind of blew past them because we revealed so many other agents. I want to give a shout out to Agents Snapdragon and Honeycrisp who were following Connor around that whole time. They reminded me of the agents from Umbrella Academy, who I just really loved, who are like, and it's a very like Quentin Tarantino thing, is like make some weirdos up and then put them in black suits with white shirts. And I just love them so much and how they didn't have faces. They were just fun to mess with. And then, of course, so many of them, all named after apples, by the way, so many of them piling out of the helicopter was just really fun, even though...
Shout out to the one guy who ended up as Granny Smith. That sucks for him.
I did not understand they were apples because Snapdragon is a flower in my head. So I was about to ask you where the names came from.
Yeah, Snapdragon and Honeycrisp.
Here is a question from Emily. It seems like there's always a thematic condition to take when something calls for it, like when Rowan took angry at the end of the midterms arc. Does it just happen to work that way? Are there ever bits edited out as you try and figure out some reason why a certain condition makes sense? I can start here, which is I feel like there is usually a way to tie a condition into the plot because Masks is really well constructed as a game. And as a teen, especially, you got big feelings, big feelings about something that's happening to you, whether or not it goes right or wrong. So, tell me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but I think there's at most like a few seconds of me being like, which condition should I take? Less so trying to like shoehorn, the condition I end up selecting into the plot. It's more like what is, at least for me, it's what would my character be feeling right now? And then, shit, that'll have bad consequences for me in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't think it takes much thought for us to reason out which one makes sense in the moment,
Yeah. And I think part of that is just being in touch with your character enough to be like, oh, their reaction to this would be angry, or they will feel guilty after that, or
Right, exactly.
et cetera, et cetera.
There's a reason why it never tells you what condition to choose. You need to just choose a condition. So that's the game. It's a good game, folks.
Hell yeah.
Did you see Masks second edition is coming out next year?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exciting stuff.
Did you see it? Did you see it? Because I put the screenshot in the Slack.
I did see that.
Oh, okay, great. Very excited. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do. There's definitely like just inherent clunkiness in Powered by the Apocalypse stuff. Like I just want them to rewrite the book, honestly, as someone who learned how to play this on mic. So I'm very interested to see how it's going to shake out.
Hell yeah, dog.
yeah.
Wonderful segue into this question from Chloe. Are there any conditions that y'all wish you could take that aren't on the table with Masks? Now, thinking back to my own teenage experience, it's mostly feelings that are not emotions, like overwhelm.
That was the exact one that I was thinking of, Amanda, is overwhelmed.
Maybe some kind of like executive function paralysis of just like everything is so much that I cannot do any of them. And then I, fall asleep like a dog.
I also think that it would be interesting if there was like you've amassed too many conditions. I know there is like a thing if you hit all of the conditions, but like if you've amassed like 3, then you become overwhelmed, which is a certain category
Yeah,
of,
that'd be
I don't
fun.
know. I don't
Mhm.
know. Just thinking out loud.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Executive function paralysis would be -2 to any move that is a playbook move and
Ooh.
not a basic move. Because I always think that's interesting how like all the conditions only are for the basic moves.
That's a really good point.
I mean, anxious is one that is clear that's not actually on the list to me. Like, you know, everyone is always anxious as a teenager. So I guess insecure is slightly that, but it's slightly
And
different
also
to me.
afraid. I think it balances kind of between those two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it is slightly different from both of those. But I don't know.
I know it's distinct, but yet.
I guess this one is Game Master specific, but you know, I'm surprised that there isn't accidentally having an erection in class. as a condition.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's a harder.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Bang.
That's a hard condition. Is what I was
Bang.
gonna say.
Boo.
Moving on. We have some great questions from Soup Dumpling. So Soup not only has a puppy, shout out Tilly, but has also been re-listening to the entirety of Join the Party and has proposed something that I think really deserves to be studied. So here we go. It's from Soup Dumpling. In my re-listen of the entire podcast feed, I am back to the start of Campaign 4. There are some threads I forgot about due to more pressing matters in active arcs. So let's start with number 1. Did Rick Powers and Moonboot / Dr. Rom conspire about luring the Cloud cousins to the school? How do they know about that closet if not?
I think so. I think almost definitely.
Wait, are they asking if Rick Powers and Dr. Rom conspired?
That's right.
Yeah.
Or I don't think so. I think Rick Powers definitely conspired to let them in the school.
But we know that Dr. Rom knew that the Cloud cousins were going to be there on campus.
Yeah, that's what Connor was overhearing when he was outside of the classroom listening to Rick Powers and Dr. Rom talk to each other.
But knowledge and conspiracy are two different things. So, like, did Dr. Rom know that Rick Powers was going to do that? Maybe. But did he help him do that? I don't know.
I think that means he's in on the conspiracy at least.
I mean, you get an accessory to conspiracy
Sure,
charge for
yeah.
sure.
Accessory to conspiracy was sort of my vibe as well. I assumed that maybe Rick had either like informed Dr. Rom or had gone to Dr. Rom for like assistance / this is happening and I'm going to let someone know about it when planning to lure them in. But I don't think that Dr. Rom like helped set it up or initiate that. It felt like a thing driven by Rick and then, you know, accessorized, so to speak, by Dr. Rom.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you shit.
All right. On to Soup's second plot that we may or may not have lost. 2. The Green Ooze, the anti-Chad generally, and on the chair of Withers. Where are they now?
Who can say?
It's a good question.
That's a who can say.
No, don't worry about it. Don't investigate that. It's
I'm
fine.
sure that is never going to come up. Number 3, connected to now the events of the interview with the villain arc, how does Emily Slaughter not know the names of Kraft's team that she would have been constantly connected to and presumably talking about for the last 3 years? Julia?
I know the answer. It's because she sucks.
Yep, there it is. Because she's a bad parent.
Yeah, so funny. 4, how are there so many possibilities of strings to pull on in future arcs? Eric, WTF, how are you so creative? How do you do this?
It's my curse. That's what I get while also manipulating fire.
There it is.
Would you trade your curse for manipulating water as well?
Oh.
No, they can. That's you. You can do music.
Ah,
Aw.
fair.
I do have a question though, Eric. How does the game suggest or incentivize game masters to introduce new threads to pull on versus returning to or tugging on existing ones?
Oh, that's a good question. Powered by the Apocalypse games, and this is both Monster of the Week and also what I've learned from Masks. And Brandon learned this when running Brindlewood Bay because it's like a postmodern version of those things. It's really just like, here's your toolbox, go figure it out. Like, hey, do all of these things. Like, I have a list of 22 principles I'm supposed to keep in my head at all times. Like, here's all these things you can do. Here's all these things you can do for these playbooks. So it's like, it doesn't really tell you. It's just like, here's 5,000 helpful hints at the same time. If I remember correctly, they want you to keep creating characters so that you can reintroduce other characters later so that your players kind of latch onto them. It's very much like superhero comic book storytelling, you know, like make stuff up so that you can bring them back in a later issue. So there isn't an incentive per se, more that you need to, much like a lot of Game Master's suggestion, it's like, here's your toolbox, just keep growing the toolbox. And I think you can see that from the NPC list that we maintain, like they just all exist. They're all there.
Yep.
And I can pull on them whenever I want.
Do you have a personal goal about like introducing things that in your mind are connected to endgame or a broader plot or a bigger arc? Because we don't necessarily know what that is, but I'm sure you have been seeding things that looking back will be like, oh, of course, but don't recognize as significant in the day-to-day of like arc to arc stuff.
Yeah, but I do that anyway. Like, I feel like I've been doing that just running campaigns. Is like you seed things up. If there are things to pull on, you do it. And I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like you have these mini arcs and you have the larger arc of the story that's telling, I really am not supposed to plan that much. So there's only so much I can do. For example, I did not have Emily Slaughter written into my notes for the midterms arc, right? Like, I had Liminality, I had Todrick Swapper, I had the Ghost at the Funbratory, and I had Agent Snapdragon and Honeycrisp. Because you're supposed to, like, come up with a summary. Oh, and of course, Coach Boneman, right? So it's like, I have this summary of, like, here's stuff that would happen. I have all these characters that are like, here's what they would do if unchecked. Much like back in Monster of the Week. But only when you introduce new things, you're like, oh, this person can intersect. Like, for example, Agent Snapdragon and Honeycrisp work for Heroes for Hire, right? So now introducing Emily Slaughter and introducing more things related to Connor's aunt, to Anita Tigre, totally makes sense. But only once I didn't have that idea until Julia said, oh, Emily Slaughter will just give us $50,000. But that wouldn't have happened unless you had pushed Todrick Swapper. And I had written down his like want of he needs money to get out of town. So, all those things need to connect, and then you reach into your toolbox and put something else on so that it will make sense.
I wonder why he wants to get out of town. We never got an answer about that.
No.
Maybe him and Farouk had a nasty breakup.
Maybe.
Really N64 guy vibes from the time loop.
Oh, yeah.
Real.
And here's Soup Dumpling's final thesis statement. In Wedding Party in Campaign 1, Amanda, quote, accidentally asked if anyone has a pair of cards.
Okay.
In Campaign 3, Troy has one card Manny, which is 2 cards or a pair of cards. One of them says Manny, one of them does not. Among my most unhinged creations. True. So what pair of card games are there in Lake Town City for Campaign 2 and in Jupiter for Campaign 4? And is Camp Carrie-Ann Price's from the Camp-Paign cards of waffle toppings, and she pulls 2 of them each day? 100% Soup. Absolutely confirmed. She pulls them every day, and no matter how unhinged the combo, that is her breakfast daily.
Man, I could fuck up some waffles right now. That sounds great.
Well, I think that if you listen to Join the Party enough, and I feel this way about any work of fiction, right? If you come up with these things and you unearth all the text and then you ask a question, I think you get to just come up with
You're right.
Yeah.
Like, you tell us, Soup Dumpling, this is your reward. You did your side quest, and now you get to tell us what that is.
Agreed.
Wasn't one card Manny just one card?
It was 2 cards.
Oh, it was 2 cards because one says Manny and one doesn't.
And that's why it's called one card Manny.
Oh, I thought it was called one card Manny because it was one card that says Manny.
There's no game.
I thought one side said Manny. One side said Manny and the other side said not Manny. Said nothing.
No.
And then you flipped it.
Very clear. I'm just kidding. I completely made this up as we went. But no, by the end of Campaign 3, there were 2 cards. One said Manny, one did not say Manny. And so the game is guessing which card said Manny. Incredible.
That was such fundamental world building to the Crags.
Yeah.
Like, the Crags is a place where they play one card Manny.
I know.
And we're like, got it.
It was
Understand
one
this
of my
place.
prompts for being from the Crags was, what game do you play? Like, what game did you bring? And that was it.
Right.
Incredible. All right, folks, I'm going to pop into the kitchen and consult my deck of waffle toppings to see what I'm going to be bringing back out for snacks. So give me just 1 second.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Amanda. This mid-roll is brought to you by the tendril of a bean plant reaching out to grasp a nearby branch. Thank you and welcome to those of you who have followed us for free on Patreon. We are so glad you're here, and this is a wonderful way to keep up with the show, especially if you're not on social media as much these days. In case you didn't know, we offer a 7-day free trial to our paid membership on Patreon. What that means is that if you hear us talk about how amazing the Discord is, how fun party planning is, how easy our ad-free episodes make it to catch up on the show, you gotta try it for yourself, y'all. So if you have a Patreon account, follow us for free. Start your free trial today with just a couple clicks at patreon.com/jointhepartypod. If you like Join the Party, you are going to love the other shows that are a part of the Multitude Podcast Collective. Attach Your Resume is a show from Multitude interviewing online creators about how their jobs work and how they got there. You can hear the personal stories behind seismic events in digital media. For example, I interviewed Carla Lolly Music, who is one of the people that was at Bon Appetit when all of that went down about 5 years ago, and learn what concrete steps we as creators can take to build a sustainable media landscape. Season 2 just concluded, where you can listen to or watch Attach Your Resume at patreon.com/attachyourresume or in your podcast app today. We are sponsored this week by The Sprouting, which is an eldritch horror of an actual play podcast, which is set in an apocalyptic future where eldritch plants have taken over, magical bargains twist the fabric of reality, and each survivor struggles to trust their own senses as they try to see their goals through to the end. Now, you can listen to The Sprouting anywhere you listen to podcasts, but first, you can enjoy a sneak peek right now.
With your long-forgotten name, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
In the words of the unspeakable language, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
By the spilt blood of the wicked, who walk upon this world, sprouting the words of false idols, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
On the land of the dead harvest, that which brings the earth itself into your service, Yamal, we call upon you.
We call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you.
Yamal calls upon you.
The Sprouting, a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast by Blighthouse Studio. Find us on your podcatcher of choice.
All right, everybody, we're back. What have you got on your waffle today?
Bacon and whipped cream.
Oh,
Bacon and whipped cream?
savory
Mhm.
sweet.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Pecans and toffee and syrup.
Yum, yum. Eric?
I was going to do it, and then my flame powers got out of control.
Ah,
and I
no.
burned
Oh,
it
you
all.
burnt the waffles.
Oh, piss.
It happens to the best of us. It's okay. All right, folks, let's get into the Elemental Bonds arc. We have obviously much more to go here, but we have started learning about the Mad Science meetup and much more. Here's a question from Tanky Doodle Dandy.
Cool.
There have been a couple of times lately when various things turn Connor momentarily opaque or not transparent or skin colored. How does he feel about that? I'm getting perhaps some body dysmorphia vibes, but maybe not. Maybe being transparent feels normal to him, now to the point that being non-transparent is the aberration. Brendan, how are you feeling about this?
I think Tanky Doodle Dandy here is spot on. I think as a player, I don't feel super equipped to dive fully into body dysmorphia stuff, just because I don't feel like a good spokesperson.
You don't feel that in your day-to-day lived experience.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone does to some degree, but I don't think it's like I just don't feel like I'm the right spokesperson for that. And I don't want to like lead anyone into a place that isn't good on accident. But I think you're sort of on the right vibe there. I don't think Connor loves it, but I haven't decided, I haven't thought about which one he feels good or bad about at this point. Like, does he feel more transparent is normal, or does he feel bad? I mean, I guess if I'm playing by the rules of the game, he feels bad about being transparent. But
If I can help you here, do you want me to read the principles I'm supposed to push on when dealing with the transformed playbook? Things recommended to me by the game.
sure.
I'm supposed to reject them. I'm supposed to show how they are feared or hated. I'm supposed to attack them with unthinking hordes. I'm supposed to remind them of what they've lost, and I'm supposed to see their true self.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nightmare, especially for a teen.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Library Chick. The mention of trying to trick Wordsmith into creating bags of money really made me laugh. I was wondering if your characters had the chance, what would they like Wordsmith to create?
Bags of money.
That is so not how it works. That's not how it works at all. That's not how it works.
Now, because we've established sometimes Wordsmith says a word and then a like temporary version of it exists.
Yes.
But sometimes he physically manifests stuff if he says it in Esperanto,
Yes.
correct?
Right.
Okay. I don't know what Kraft would want to use this for.
Julia, not weed? Not super special weed just for you?
No, because, like, I don't know. How do you specify that in Esperanto? You can't really.
Okay, Google Translate weed English to Esperanto.
What about dank? Do they have the
Dank
dankest
weed.
in Esperanto? Connor would just do bags of money.
Well, that's very logical of him.
Doesn't everyone just want bags of money?
You're going to get bags of a currency that doesn't exist for a country that never existed.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bad news, guys. Marijuana is just marijuano in Esperanto. So,
Damn.
I think Rowan would want like the complete text of Maimonides or something, like huge editions of books that don't exist or otherwise just exist like in libraries, maybe replicas, of like ancient texts, but like cool shit.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
This is so funny that you guys are like going up to Green Lanterns and like, yo, can you make a giant penis out of the Green Lantern ring? That would be so sick. Like, he's the keeper of the power. Wordsmith would never do any of this stuff for you.
But if we trick him,
Yeah. What if we
okay.
trick him?
what if
Yeah,
we trick
prank your principal.
What if we say the fissuring will happen unless you make insert thing here?
The fissuring already happened, and we already covered that in a really emotional 6-issue arc.
It's going to happen again.
Or we write a word on a chalkboard and then be like, what did that say?
I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if you told me the word for bags of money in Esperanto?
Right. With like intention and magic behind it, please.
Yeah.
Wordsmith has been an educator for a long time. I don't know how you can prank him to create what was it, marijuana for him?
Yeah.
Guano.
Marijuana.
Yesterday, this is true. I noticed that in my little like office supply organizer, the drawers for pen and pin are next to each other, and I was like, "This is someone's nightmare. This is someone's nightmare," and that's someone's
It's
name
mine.
is
It's
Brandon.
me.
Yeah. From Penguin, I feel like with everything that happened in the rest of the episode, we all, including me, just glossed over the fact that Anita has powers now. What the hell? Did Connor also gloss over that? How is he sitting with this?
I don't think I glossed over it. I think he panicked. It's not glossed over. That's the thing that is fucked up and terrifying for Connor right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, Eric, did she have to like special kiss somebody in the sort of like void of time in order to get a power?
I'm not telling you. You guys got to figure that shit out in game.
We'll find out eventually. I think also, not to make light of Anita's situation, because it is wild that she has powers now after she was erased from existence and then brought back. I think if they were cooler powers, we would have made a bigger deal out of it.
Truly.
Well, they were just warming up. They
Yeah,
could get more,
you never know.
more over time,
Wait. Was telekinesis not cool enough for you?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
she did say she could only do the peanut butter and jelly right now. So.
Yeah, she did say that.
Sorry, I didn't come up with sandwich-omancy. I didn't
Right.
underline that. She can only
Oh,
control
shit.
sandwich and sandwich-related things.
I'd give up my skill to breathe in order to have sandwich mancy.
Wow.
Don't say that. Penguin also added the Twinkie scene in this episode really warmed my heart. Quote, as someone who's Muslim and has to eat halal, I've experienced those panic moments all too often when you realize something you're eating is not okay. While halal and kosher are not exactly the same, there are some overlapping needs, and I love seeing Connor and Kraft respecting that. The question here is, how often does that happen? And did they react/adapt to being told about the kosher diet? On a scale of 1 to 10, how protective are they against Rowan accidentally eating something she can't?
I think Kraft sometimes has to be reminded of the rules.
Yes.
Like the fact that Kraft was like, eat a hamburger. And you were like, oh, it was only cheeseburgers available. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But
That
like,
checks
cheese
out.
on meat is great. Like, why not, man?
Why not? That sounds
There's
great.
nothing better than a cheeseburger. It's so fucking good.
A Kraft single melted on top of a Twinkie. That sounds tight as fuck.
Ooh, that would be good SpawnCon after Kraft graduates. A Kraft single with a, I guess, with a C.
Connor definitely knows at least the basics of a lot of different religions, practices, and beliefs
Part of his training.
for part of his negotiation training, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he probably makes mistakes still, of course, because he's still learning.
Yeah.
At this time, but he did have to Google what was in a Twinkie. So
Fair enough.
I'm imagining there was an entire unit on like how to negotiate on an airplane. So you need to know all of the dietary restrictions, especially if you're trying to make someone come on an airplane and get the food from there.
Well, because there's that one villain that was like the Peanutter, and he would go on airplanes and make children have anaphylactic shock.
Brutal.
Not someone called the Peanutter being around children. No. No.
Oh boy. Oh no.
This did remind me of a very sweet anecdote from my own life. When I was vegan for like 7 or 8 years in college and then just out of it. And after I had first gone vegan, I went to visit my friend Yvonne, friend of the show, in DC, and we were at like coffee shop and actually booked for the people, a great coffee shop in DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered a macaron, which I knew didn't have cream in it, but I did not realize at the time had egg whites. And so Yvonne is watching me order like a tea with soy milk and then a macaron. And then he just like combusts and he's just like, is this a test? And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, there's egg whites in the macaron. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Thank you. And then he's like, what? Like he was so nervous that I was like making a friendship test. And he's like, did I pass it? I'm like, I don't know. So we still, 15 years later, we're like, is this a test?
What a cutie.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's really funny.
Okay, from No Hugs, Just Bugs. Why would the mad scientists have their party on the home turf of probably their greatest enemy in Wordsmith? Is it like a recruiting event for the high schoolers? Do they somehow know that Wordsmith is gone and are taking advantage of that?
Are they rubbing it in his face, you know?
Or is it does the target so big he disappears?
Or last place they'd ever look.
Right?
That's true. The best place to hide is in plain sight, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any insights, Eric?
Whoever organized that thing probably was thinking about that stuff.
No, who is it? Who is it? Tell me. I
Who
want to
can
know.
say? Who can say?
Bugs also wanted to know what slightly unhinged or superpowered carnival games do you think were present at the Mid-Terminal Velocity Festival?
I think they have, and I think I said this in the episode, one of those blow-up obstacle courses. But they're like really intense. Like there's real spikes instead of like blow-up spikes.
Very good.
Yeah.
I really liked the water gun, like shooting at the target games, or it'd be like horses racing or some other kind of progression.
Yeah, it's just so fun.
And I think there's that, but the PSI is like 8 times the normal PSI of those water guns.
You could blow someone away with that.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a ring toss where you have to put the ring over the like bottle opening or whatever it is. But maybe it's something about like the bottles change diameter. And so you have to change the size of the ring at the same time to match it, you know, with your powers or whatever it is.
I think there's also a pie eating contest, but the pies are somewhat sentient, so they try to fight you, so you have to defeat the pie before you can eat it.
Oh my God.
Damn, Julia, I should have came up with that one. That sounds like me. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's my answer. That's what Julia
They're
said.
all from the Mad Mage's tower, right?
Oh, yeah, they escaped from the Mad Mage's Tower, yeah.
Because they had the sentient sushi that made me feel bad about eating it.
Oh, right. Or they really wanted you to eat them?
They did, but it felt weird regardless.
Right, please. Yeah. That's where it's from. I'm like, that does sound like something I would make up for sure.
Damn, Eric, you just failed your own Turing test. Or Julia passed it. That's hard to say.
Hey, unrelated, do any of these photos have trucks in them?
I don't.
Have you thought about trucks and if they're in these photos?
Can't say I've thought about trucks.
Oh, how about stoplights? Are there stoplights in any of these photos?
Speaking of field day, Tanky Doodle Dandy says, what random field day event would your PC be weirdly good at? There's cornhole, tug of war, water balloon fight, inflatable obstacle course, etc. And Eric, I have a version of this that's specifically for you, which is if you had to create a like primetime game show on like Fox or ABC around a carnival game designed for you to excel at, what would the carnival game be?
To answer the first part of the question, Kraft is so good at cornhole. Kraft like locks in and is just like in the hole every single time.
Incredible.
One of my least favorite words on the history of English language
Hole?
is cornhole.
Oh,
No, cornhole.
Okay.
That sucks. I just hate it so much.
I'm so
You
sorry.
throw the bag of corn into the hole, Brandon.
Oh, it's a bag of. It was originally a bag of corn, or
Yeah.
is it supposed to be a bag of corn?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Corn goes in the
I
hole.
never understood that.
Corn goes in the hole.
But is it still corn in the bags?
No, now they have like bean bags that are made
Well,
with the
how am
little
I supposed to
plastic
know that
beans.
then,
It's
guys?
not called
Give me a
bean hole.
break. That'd be better though.
Anyway.
I think Connor would be good at the inflatable obstacle course probably, but he would pop it. So
I think, is it called a plinko when it's like falls between little pegs?
Yeah.
Rowan would do that, but change the course of the disc.
Smart.
Understandable.
It doesn't touch any of the pegs. It just like floats down gracefully.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the good people over at NBC does not have a game show based around skee ball. Like how is there not like a giant skee ball? Like you do trivia and then you get ball, depending on if you get those trivia, you get different balls for it. And then there's like there, and it's also like there could be a giant one, a really small one, or it's really long and you have to like roll it like it's a
Curling.
No, you got to roll it like it's a life-size ball or something. Like I don't know how there's not a skee ball related, hosted by Steph Curry, obviously. How there's not a related skee ball game show. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I am now thinking that in the Winter Olympics we should have skee ball, but it's skiing down a hill, and you have to try to land in the right
You have to land in one of the
spots.
holes. Like it's the
Slalom.
ski jump, but then you have to try to land in one of the holes.
I don't think it has to be a hole, obviously, because that would be dangerous. But like you could, you get different amounts of points for where you land, and the boundaries are smaller for the higher points, kind of thing.
More
Huge.
bullseye style. Got it.
Yeah, bullseye style. Yeah.
There was a mini game for monkey ball that was like that, where you had to like go all the way down and then you had to send your monkey onto a middle of a.
Well, thank you, Eric. We should call it monkey ball and put it in the Winter Olympics.
It's not copyrighted yet. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely not.
I'm still stuck on skee ball athlon, which is where you have to ski. You have to ski down a mountain and you have to do skee ball.
and shoot a monkey at the same time.
Yeah.
So good.
Can I also say, so Jake and I were away this past weekend, and the
Brag.
person that we were staying with, her roommate's brother is like a world champion frisbee golf player.
What?
Oh yeah.
And so he was in Finland. So every morning we would eat breakfast and watch how he was doing. And he came in second in the world championship.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God.
Yeah. So I learned a lot about frisbee golf this past weekend.
Wow.
That's just the one like pro sport that I literally don't understand at all. Like I understand that you throw a frisbee and catch it or something.
No,
but I
it's
don't-
just golf rules. Instead of a golf ball, you throw a frisbee.
Oh, so
Yeah.
the course is as big?
Yes.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay.
I wish there was a frisbee golf course near me.
Mhm.
I would get so into that shit. That sounds so great.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to think of a pun like frisbee hole, but that simply sounds like a medical condition, and I don't want to get further into it.
It's in your small intestines, guys. Come on. Wow.
Don't be
Don't be
weird.
weird.
Don't be weird.
Don't be weird. I needed medium invasive surgery to fix my frisbee hole.
All right, here's a question from Alex, Spaceman. If the PCs and Eric could choose a mentor under a Lake Town City hero, like in My Hero Academia, who would they choose?
Ooh.
I didn't listen to Campaign 2, so this is going to be tough for me.
Make one up in Lake Town City. I would love to see, and not just because it's all me, but I would love to see Rowan hanging out with Multitool. And I think it would be so cool to see them compare notes on like how they approach problems, and their attitudes are just so different and their powers are so different that just trying to see Multitool wrap her head around literally changing gravity is like, whoa, I could fix a lot of plumbing with this, you know?
Multitool's not alive anymore, though, so that's kind of
Oh, well, if the multiverse doesn't exist, then I have a lot of questions about what happened at the end of Campaign 2.
Yeah.
Multiverse doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
I have two answers. One, as we said earlier, Connor and Val would be a perfect pairing.
It's so funny to me.
for a mentor-mentee situation. But I also think that Cyberpunk and the guy from Campaign 2 who is like a weeb who has a sword with like his like clay soldiers people or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about, Eric?
Right.
Yes.
It was the professor. Yeah, it was the professor. Yeah,
Damn.
the professor. Oh my god.
Mm.
I think they'd be a good pairing.
I think Kraft and Killanova would be fucking hilarious. I think Kraft would just roast Milo the entire time during that internship.
I need that podcast so bad.
It'd be really funny.
Milo would act so like adult and like try to be so like calm and cool and professional as he was trying to mentor this kid.
I feel like Zach Rose and Apple would sit you down and be like, don't fuck this up. She is so cool. We need her around.
Who's to say we're not going to do that?
Who can say?
Who can say?
Who's to say?
Who can
knows?
say?
By the way, if you're missing Campaign 2, great time to buy our limited edition vinyl episode of Join the Party at
Only a few left.
jointhepartypod.com/merch. Not too many left, folks. Fewer left than there are U.S. states. Contiguous ones at that.
Whoa.
Mhm. Question from Penguin. Who is the weirdest teacher at Water's Edge Academy that you wouldn't think would be good at their job, but is actually the best teacher on campus? Like, I'm thinking about a rock golem, for example, who teaches geology and is also really good at having heart-to-hearts with students because everyone feels comfortable around them, or something like that.
I think there's a talking velociraptor who teaches,
Paleontology?
I was going to say medieval history, but I want it to be more like, I think it's like medieval literature.
Nice.
Yeah. Real.
And they're really cool and great at giving advice.
Aw.
In my head, I was like, it'd be funny if they taught paleontology, but then I was like, that's really fucked up that a dinosaur would teach about the dead bodies of his relatives. But then I realized that that is what people do.
That is.
That's anthropology, yeah.
That's history. It is.
Mhm.
You're very right.
So it's really not that fucked up.
I am struggling. Maybe you guys can help me think of the character, but the subject that I want to do is math. I had a really good math teacher my senior year of high school who
Wow, brag.
was very good. No, Brennan, bragging is telling you I got a 5 on AP mathematics, but telling
got
you
a
not a
5
brag
on
to say I did.
AP math?
I did. That the teacher was really
Jesus
good and made
Christ.
me feel like if I didn't understand something, it was because the subject was hard and I just had to keep trying different ways until I got it. Not that it was impossible or that I was wrong. And so I want there to be a math teacher who is really good at like catering to different learning styles and making students feel fundamentally like empowered and like they are capable of doing more than they thought they were.
Brain in a jar.
Brain in a jar.
Brain in a jar.
There you go.
That's really good. Amanda, why the fuck are you making podcasts and not doing like physics?
Because I only got a 2 on AP Physics.
Okay.
And also, she doesn't want to.
That is why I'm
are
good
you
at
doing
spreadsheets.
theoretical mathematics?
Brandon, it's because our achievements in fundamentally racist school system have nothing to do with our ability to do actual life.
Mhm.
Anyway,
College Board sponsors this podcast.
Yeah. Famous.
Eric, there is a number. There's an amount of money they could pay for me to read an ad for the College Board, and it has 6 digits. I'll tell you that much.
It's as high as my SAT score was.
Yeah, good start.
$8?
Got him, idiot.
You spelled your last name with 2 O's like a dumbass.
Grugle.
Here is a question from I Breathe Fiction. Great name. There's a point in episode 9, about 7 minutes in, where Eric calls Julia out for her wardrobe consisting of Target Boys XL items. Now, as a fellow AFAB person who shops at Target, have you noticed anything good over the summer? Julia, I've been experiencing a lot of autistic burnout and have not had the mental or social energy to do more than work and spend time with people I already know. But I do need new clothes, so I have to know, is it worth the trip?
I haven't been shopping at Target lately because of their changes in their DEI policies. However, I would check out their website and you can usually like select it from your store and then go and pick it up rather than having to spend time in the store if you want to do that. I'm also going to do a quick aside and say this weekend I was trying to find a very specific sweatshirt and I went to like 2 different stores and they're like, we're all sold out of adult sizes. And the second store I looked at the woman, I said, do you have a boys XL? And she's like, I'll check the back. And then I did buy a sweatshirt in a boys XL. So it's not just
Hooray.
Target, it's all boys XL.
They're like, I'm so sorry, we're out of adult sizes. And you're like, did you look at me?
The girl looked surprised and then she was like, huh.
Shout out. That black boycott of Target has removed something like $1.4 billion of shareholder value from Target, which is a great thing to do because they walked back their commitment to highlight Black-owned businesses.
Guys, can I also just say, Target sucks. Stop going to Target.
Yeah. Bad place.
Target sucks.
Shout out Pastor Jamal Bryant, who led that and organized that boycott. Very effective. Boycotts, they work really well. What I can say is that you can get previous seasons of Target Boys XL clothing without supporting Target if you go to your local thrift store. I have been going to my local thrift store a lot. I've been going to the Savers chain. There's a few on Long Island, but there are all over the country. And they organize everything by size. So you can just go through and see like everything they've got that's in your specific size. And they have youth,
Hell
they have
yeah.
boys, they have women, they have all kinds of stuff. So highly recommend you go there.
I want to give a shout out to Abercrombie for all the people who want to buy masculine clothing, especially in regards to how American Eagle's doing right now. Abercrombie, much better than before.
Speaking
turns out.
Abercrombie smells better than it did when you were a teenager.
Hell yeah, it fucking does.
Did they turn on the lights finally?
They did.
No, Hollister. It's still dark in Hollister, but the lights are on in Abercrombie.
In Abercrombie, the dressing rooms have customizable lighting, so you can do like a warm tone or a cool tone or higher or lower, so you're not
Wow.
like turbo blasted with fluorescent lights that hate you.
What if I want to be turbo blasted with fluorescent?
You can
lights,
do
though?
that.
We don't kink
Hell
shame,
yeah.
Brendan. We kink ask why.
We can't ask why.
Here is a quite a philosophical question from Aster Poetry. If superheroes existed in real life, would that be cool with you guys? Like, would it be ethical?
Oh boy, it's funny to think that like this was a really big and important issue, like when it came out in the comics with the actual Civil War arc. I know that it's been like corrupted by the Marvel movies and kind of like a watered down version of it, but I always thought it was so. I just always thought it was so interesting, especially because like Steve Rogers being like, hey, no, I saw what the US government does with unchecked power and it was bad, so like let's not do that. So I think it relates to ideas of like, the US military industrial complex and policing and things like that. So I think we already have similar sort of conversations that we're having. In another way, I will say that I have never had the fantasy of wishing I had superpowers more than I have now, as opposed to like when I was 7, just in terms of like how clarifying it feels to want to have power in a way that and having the responsibility to actually try to help people instead of using it for your own gains. So
Having a clarity of purpose.
yeah, and clarity of purpose, and like wishing I had that so I could go do something in a way that was good for others and wielding the power responsibly. So, it's a complicated question. I think it's like we're already having it's such a good metaphor for everything we're already talking about. So I think, that question has already been posed for sure.
It's so funny that you say that because I don't think it's complicated at all.
Tell me.
Well, on the one hand, no, I don't want superheroes to exist only because that ends with a lot of people dead and property damage and all that kind of stuff like that. The actual like ramifications doesn't sound fun to live in, but accepting that, that's obviously a silly argument there. Of course it's ethical. They're superheroes. They're not supervillains. Like the Superman deals with this in the latest movie, no spoilers, but like assuming we are talking about superheroes as they're written, where they have good moral compasses, morality supersedes government interests in all cases. So like, no, I don't give a shit if America is mad that Superman stops a war between Russia and Ukraine. Like, fuck America at that point. Like that is clearly the ethical, moral thing to do in that case, to stop people from being harmed. So like, yeah, I don't have any issue with that at all.
Yeah. I think like the like moral question then is like, well, why is this person with powers able to decide what is moral and what is not, and when to step in and when not to step in? But I agree with you, Brandon.
Some morals are absolute. Like, not all morals are relative. Like, in terms of like stopping harm, like stopping people from doing harm to other people. Like, that's a pretty mostly speaking, that is a moral absolute. Like, I can't think of an example where like someone harming someone else is good.
Yes. That's fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Fascinating.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that it's hard to answer this question without either like totally rethinking the universe, which is why I think I love superhero genre so much in the first place. Like, either we're doing a magical realism thing where we're dropping like it's exactly the same, but we're changing one thing, or like we have to totally rethink everything. Like in the beginning of My Hero Academia, that's why I love it so much, because it's like actually 90% of people have superpowers and it's totally different, and then everything changes accordingly.
Yeah, that's different for sure.
The question is, are superheroes ethical? It's like, maybe. We also would have to introduce like, well, who is the distribution of people who get those superpowers? Like, the whole thing about Superman is Superman was created by, two Jews in the 1930s who were like, what if this guy from space beat up all the robber barons? That'd be so sick. So it's like, even we're starting from such like a literary construction, someone inventing it and not having the randomness that is the actual lives. It's like, if people had superpowers, the universe would kind of just distribute it accordingly to those people, and then we'd have to figure out what happened and who those people would be.
But I don't think that's true, because the way that superheroes are written is like they inherently also have decent ethics, like generally speaking. That's what a superhero is.
No, not necessarily. I think that, the superheroes versus the supervillains are the people who kind of sort themselves accordingly, and the stories that are being told. I'm saying that, like, if it was real, there would be a random distribution of people who got superpowers, and then we'd reckon with who those people are. Like, this is the whole thing about Superman, right? Superman's a good dude, and lucky that he was the one with powers. And then every single person's written, what if Superman was evil stories afterwards.
Yeah.
But the question wasn't what if superpowers existed. It's what if superheroes existed.
I think if superheroes existed, awesome, but then that usually does imply the existence of people with powers who don't have strong ethics.
I also think our current culture and worldview is very oriented toward justifying that the people with power are also good. And so if superpowers existed, I think by definition, we would sort of, alter or shift our morality to make those people into superheroes, because people don't want to think of themselves as villainous. But it does remind me that, like, I think all of us have, with like the capacity to influence the world, have a version of a superpower. And so I think that our particular lot in life, compared to somebody else, does have a superpowered kind of difference in our ability to make actual change. And so I, want to conduct myself as if I was the one with the powers that Kal-El brought me from space, and try to use that, like to your point earlier, Eric, to make things better for people. And I think that's a good worldview to bring into 2025 and beyond.
Agreed.
Fascinating. Great job, everybody. Final question, thought, anecdote here from Ellie. Want to tell you how much I appreciate your podcast. Y'all helped me survive my junior year of high school, which was definitely as miserable as everybody said it would be, with most of my joy for living intact. Ellie, that's pretty good. Good job. It gives me so much joy that I get to go into senior year at the same time that you are all playing high school age characters. And on a different note, I had a weird after-party question. What are your characters' favorite study methods if they study? Is there a specific place on campus that is a popular study spot for all students? Can't wait to listen to the rest of the campaign, and I hope you enjoy playing as much as I like listening.
I don't think Craft does a lot of actual studying. I think we saw the extent of Craft studying, which was reading the Wikipedia page for Snow.
She sure did.
Yeah, and that's about it.
I want everyone to answer this, and then I have a second question as well.
Okay.
One, I think that Connor doesn't study because his entire academic career, he's just always been number 8 or whatever,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about that because I think that we only underlined that during this particular episode, but does Connor know that? Does Connor notice that?
I don't think he thinks it's weird. Like, I don't think he notices. I think he's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
whatever.
the same me, so.
He's never tried to get up past that.
Right.
So it's never been like him railing against it and failing to get a higher grade. So,
is this the first time that Connor has like bombed something and then seen that that his thing hasn't dropped? I guess I want to know.
No, because that direction, as opposed to like trying to get ahead, that direction is like more opaque, because you can rationalize it by saying like, oh well, everyone else failed too, or everyone else is dumb, or whatever it is,
Right,
what I mean?
the curve kept you at 8.
Yeah, like you can shrug it off very easily. But I just want to know, did everyone here study in high school at all?
I never once studied. I didn't know how to study. I did not need to. But that did sure serve me bad when I went to college and had to.
Yeah.
I did all my work. Like, I did all the readings and I did all the work, but I never, like, studied beyond that.
My specific brain was well suited to what we had to do in school. I do think, though, that Rowan does, and I had to study a lot when I, for example, converted to Judaism, where you have, like, a study partner, and there's a whole, like, rationale and way that you do it, but basically you learn via dialogue and, like, follow through and accountability with someone else. So I think Rowan has applied that to school, and in my brain, she has, like, a study friend that is not really connected to their social group otherwise. And maybe it's, that's a great question. Okay, I'm going to think about who Rowan's chavruta is, because I think she definitely has one.
Hell yeah, love that.
I studied in high school. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
I think I was just a good test taker, so I didn't often have
Yeah.
to study as a result.
Yeah, I was too.
And that's why I'm the dungeon master and you guys are the players.
Whee!
Like, yes. And that's why I read the books and you guys are like, how does team work again? Sure.
And that's why I failed accounting, Eric.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that brings us to Who Can Say / next issue on Join the Party. From the question surgeon Michelle Spurgeon, how in tarnation did 50 mad scientist bad guys get onto campus? I thought their security was unmatched.
Well, apparently not. We've been getting evil folk on campus all semester so far.
Yeah, the security is just kids. Right?
Yeah,
Volunteer
I don't
kids.
think it's that great.
Yeah. Great question. From No Hugs, Just Bugs. Mildly concerned about the whole Connor remaining at number 8 thing despite not taking midterms. Speaking of, is this Heroes for Hire or Anita herself pulling strings? Is it someone behind the scenes deliberately manipulating things to control where Connor ends up after graduation? I am concerned.
I don't know. Who can say?
And secondly, something feels off with Rowan not being able to control powers around Coach Boneman. I feel like someone's messing with her, trying to keep her from maybe ranking too high. Or is Voidy perhaps gaining more unconscious influence and power in the world? Who can say?
Who can
Who
say?
can say?
That would be bad. I hope that's not happening.
Or maybe Coach Boneman just like thinks, well, this is going to be weird to say, but let's imagine Rowan's 18 and Coach Boneman thinks that she's cute and so she just melts. You know?
That's Brandon. That's not what's happening. No, and I refuse. No, that's not what is happening. I also loved Coach Boneman. I didn't get a chance to do it because that's not really how the arc shook out. We ended up doing other stuff instead. We ended up doing the whole Heroes for Hire thing and focusing on Anita. But I really love Coach Boneman. It's like, imagine your gym teacher cared. You know, like, incredible.
Our gym teacher was like a 25-year-old surfer who all he wanted to do was nap in class. And he was like, y'all want to do yoga? Whatever. And then like let us nap
Whatever
in the
you
weight
want.
room. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, dude.
My gym teacher kind of didn't really do anything when I dislocated my shoulder during gym class. So, you know.
Oh,
Tough.
that's bad.
Well, next issue on Join the Party, hopefully we see more attentive teachers in Water's Edge Academy. But folks, thank you for your questions. Thank you for listening. We are so excited to bring you more episodes every dang Tuesday because you know what we say over here on Join the Party, every Tuesday's a good Tuesday.
True
Thank you
facts.
for the waffles, Amanda.
And waffles.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Waffle Tuesday.
Waffle Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Delish.
I'm too hungry for this. We can't keep doing this.
All right, everybody.
I talked to the school board. We can't do Waffle Tuesday.
Shit. Fuck. Well,
How about Reheated Hamburger Tuesday?
Oh.
We can do that. That's in the union contract.
I'm
Is
gonna
that good?
start playing hooky on Tuesdays.
yeah, I gotta.
Hey, guys, is a Reheated Hamburger Tuesday ethical?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to sit with this one. And in the meantime, everybody, bye.
Bye.
May your rolls trend ever upward.